Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today we have a game between Kelazhur and Snute as part of a best of 5 from WCS Montreal, the quarterfinals. In the bottom right-hand corner of our first map, it is Abyssal Reef, and it is the red player Snute playing as Zerg. And in the top left-hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have the blue Terran player. His name is Kelazhur. So Kelazhur versus Snute, two incredible players at the WCS level quarterfinals. They've had to beat so many players to get here, you guys. This is insane. Spoiler alert, in order to get here, Kelazhur had to beat Showtime in the round of 16, and who knows how many players in the group stages before that. At least 3,700, I'm sure. And then on the other side of things, Snute had to beat Haz. So, I mean, a couple of incredible Protoss players. Haz is so scary. And Showtime as well, just one of the most solid Protoss players, foreigners especially on planet Earth right now. So to beat them and end up here is no joke. We're just going to say it is no joke. All right, so it does look like a pool first from Snute into a hatchery here at about 17 supply. Have to imagine we're going to get an extractor. I don't know what a gasless opening, there you go, would do against the Terran player as aggressive as Snute, or as Kelazhur often is. He's got his gas coming. This could be a Reaper. We have a Reaper name ready to go on the list. And again, if you'd like to submit a Reaper name, I'm sure you know this already, but you could just put it in the comments. Please preface it with Reaper name so I can find it later. And here we go. Jeff Bezos, the Amazon CEO. After dominating every market in existence, the Amazon CEO retired. Following his departure from the company, Amazon tanked, and Jeff Bezos wanted to go back to get the company thriving again, but Mensk had different plans. Mensk didn't want Amazon to compete with his dominion, so he had Bezos abducted and made him CEO of the Reaper Corps. Bezos has since made plans to give Reapers a ground-to-air attack involving same-day delivery. That's a good one. That's a good Reaper name. All right, Jeff. You're just going to be Jeff the Reaper from now on. We'll see how you can handle things against a player as good as Snute, but again, the Queen's already on the way. He already has 2 Zerglings that are out, that are sneaking up along this bottom side of the map so that they don't get spotted. Actually, one's going the other way, too. So that at least one Ling can get out here and possibly knock down this SCV, kill it, who's trying to build a command center. So Queen's already here. Oh, Jeff. Oh, Jeff, that Queen's already out. It is a bad time. That is a good thing about going pool first, is you can handle Reapers pretty easily. But what this tells Kelazhur is that there's a Ling out. There's 2 Lings, actually, and they do force a pause here on the construction of this command center, chasing the SCV around and around. Another SCV comes in, trying to get the job done, but guess what? Good micro here by Snute means another delay. Can the Ling pick off? No, the SCV lives. The SCV lives because Jeff saves him. And yeah, way to go, Jeff. Way to go, Jeff. Saving the SCV. None of them die. And the command center is allowed to be completed, albeit a little bit later than Kelazhur is probably comfortable with. Third hatch building for Snute up here at the traditional third base location on this map. And Kelazhur's known for his bio stuff. He likes his drops. Some early Hellions, no big deal there, but Marines, Marauders, Widowmines, Medivacs are his bread and butter. He has been known, as Jeff comes in, trying to kill a drone. Oh my gosh, he gets a drone kill. Whoa, at the 3.5 minute mark. Way to go, Jeff. Way to go. Picks off that drone. Snute didn't bother turning it into a spore crawler because I guess it doesn't really matter. Hellions, oh, almost get a creep to him, but it cancels. So Snute can rebuild that later. So Jeff hanging out with his Hellion buddies, just swinging around, going to check out the third base and see how vulnerable that one is. He knows it's there. Yeah, he already knew that it was there. Maybe get a shot off. Nah, not even going to bother. Reaper hopping on in, and there is a Queen. There are Lings here. Yeah, too smart for that. Too smart for that. Snute right on top of that. Another pair of Hellions trying to sneak on into the natural base. This is a pretty good play, and Jeff gets picked off by some Lings. Whoa, 4 drones roasted up. Make it 8. Oh, my goodness gracious. 9 drones killed here. Hellions doing a great job picking off those workers. Unfortunately, then surrounded and killed by Lings and Queens, but that's 11 drone kills. I mean, all that did really for Kelazhur was put him back even in the worker count against Snute. It's 32-33. Snute has a tiny bit of a lead. One Ling does manage to get inside the main base of Kelazhur, but again, Hellions are there to roast him out. So, surprising number of Hellions constructed. He's got 2. He lost 4. I mean, we're going to have at least 6 or 8 constructed here in this game for Kelazhur. So, some pretty early, strong harassment, but again, just kind of keeps him even with a Zerg player, and in fact, he's falling behind, 40-36 right now. But here comes that drop, Widowmine drop follow-up at 4 minutes and 50 seconds. There's no detection. For Snute, he doesn't even have a lair yet. So this is going to be difficult. He has exactly 0 spore crawlers. Kelazhur trying to do this thing at a pretty good time to make it happen. Viking getting rid of the Overlord, which doesn't really scout anything that he didn't already know. And here we go. Widowmine 1 and 2 at the natural base. Great pull, though. Amazing pull. Widowmine does fire, getting 3 drones. The drones are trying to escape, but I think the Queen was blocking the escape path, unfortunately, and does manage to pick it up and save one of them. The other one's left behind. I'm sure Snute knows about that. And 4 Hellions trying to sneak on into the third base. 2 Queens, enough to shove that away. I don't know. I kind of feel like if I was Kelazhur, I might have pushed in a little bit further, but maybe that would have been suicide. Single Marine trying to knock down the third command center of Kelazhur's fails miserably as he gets murdered. He was trying, I mean, I guess maybe to get inside, but Kelazhur had it blocked off fairly well. Medevac and a Viking sitting out here. Is that Widowmine? Did that Widowmine die? That Widowmine did get killed as the Spore Crawler was built at the natural base. Going to try to sneak on into the main where, again, no detection, no Spore Crawlers, and going to fire on something here. 2 drones, that's it. 2 drones and I guess a Zergling. So 4 kills on that Widowmine thus far. And yeah, Spore Crawler build time is enough to where if you build it, it'll finish before that Widowmine can fire again. You'll notice here it's really working out pretty well for Snute. Don't have to move anybody in the meantime as long as you're getting that Spore. And a Liberator joins the party. I didn't even see that. Kelazhur is all over the place killing these drones so far. He's got 22 drone kills in the first 6 minutes, which is a good sign for him. Hellions sneaking up back behind the third base here. Drones fighting for their lives, which is bad, but then the Lings show up and the Queens, and the Hellions are all dead. Liberator has 5 kills. 27 drones have been murdered, but it's still 62 to 54 Harvesters. Snute, man. Oh, as the Queens pick off the Liberator, trying to sneak up that right side. Snute is just kind of macroing like a boss right now. He doesn't care about drone losses. He can replace them. Replace them fairly easily. Fourth base on the way for Snute, just up into the left of the third. And let's take a look at what we're seeing. Yeah, mass barracks here for Kelazhur, working on that +1/+1, as well as an armory. Prepare for that +2 and +3 upgrade that is coming later on. Absolutely. If you're a Terran player and you're not getting those upgrades, you're bad. Keep getting those upgrades. Never stop. Never stop. Never surrender. And you will have +3/+3 Marines and Marauders at some point, and they will be very, very scary for your opponent, especially Zerg. Especially the Zerg. All right, so Kelazhur trying to find somewhere to unload where he was not spotted. And unfortunately, he is spotted by Snute on the edge of this creep. So whether he is ready for it or not, I don't know. But stimming forward with 0-0 Marines. With stim, though, picking off some creep tumors is pretty nice. Can they take out a couple Queens? There are some Roaches here, too, but the Roaches are outnumbered severely. Goodbye. Number of Queens here is 5. Couple more drones getting picked off. Got a single Ling here at the third base trying to harass, but nope. Not enough, and Kelazhur decides to pick up and boost on out. I was like, if there's a flashing symbol, it should be something big, but instead it's a single Zergling. Single Zergling. Viking still flying around trying to murder Overlords. Only has 1 kill? Seriously? I mean, I guess maybe weakening these ones is okay. It's not incredible, but this is the fourth base being constructed by Kelazhur here down into the right of his own third, so it is mirroring the expansion patterns of Snute on the other side of the map. Viking still trying to kill stuff, doesn't have any kills, and Queens chase it away from harassing this natural base. Get out of here. This is my base. Say those Queens. Infestors just about to pop for Snute. That's kind of a big deal in the tech tree for Zergs. They get those Infestors out, and they get a lot scarier, I tell you what. Spire coming in, too, and a Hive for Snute in that production tab. A lot of Roaches being morphed into. Got 12 of them. And here comes a drop from Snute trying to sneak on into the third. The third looks pretty unprotected. Yeah, there's a single Spore here. That's not enough. Good drone pull, though. Great reaction time by Snute. Loses a Queen. I think that was maybe a Roach or 2. Zergling's trying to do it. Nah. Not enough. Maybe dropping inside the main base if everybody's here. Can they kill an Overlord? Possibly. They're trying to focus down a couple of these Queens, but losing the stuff instead. No. Get out of there, Medevac. Medevac super injured. Another attack. Sneaking on into the fourth. Kelazhur is everywhere, but Snute is prepared for this. Good old fungal on top of the Marines, on top of these Medevacs. The chain fungals are good. Can't load stuff when they're fungled, and that entire drop just is forced to retreat. Most of the stuff is dead. And Medevac joins that party. Getting exploded by Queens. How many kills do you have, Queen? 6 kills by that Queen. She is a Slayer. And +3/+3 missile attack with Carapace for Snute at the 9-minute mark. That is some really fast upgrading for our Zerg player here. All right, so Snute coming on in with Frost Ravager against Marine Tank Medevac Marauder and just absolutely crushing through this. Kelazhur not having a great time at all. His tanks weren't sieged, which is a bit of a problem. Pushing on up here is Snute. Can he make it happen? He decides, yeah, you know what? No. Nah, if I can keep the Terran player away from my creep, I've pretty much got this thing in a position I'm comfortable with. Corruptors in production 2 and a Greater Spire for Snute. He's going Broodlord, you guys. We don't see a lot of this from Zergs lately. Broodlords used to be a staple back in Wings of Liberty, but as of lately, not so much. Crucibles zoning the army away. Tanks are in siege mode now. Really good against the Roaches. Pretty good against the Ravagers too, but mostly good against the Roach because of that extra damage versus armored, almost doubling their damage against Roaches, which is just real good. Coming down the ramp. No, thought about coming down the ramp. Did Snute to engage here, but not liking what he sees. Creep tumors are getting picked off. Kelazhur pretty consistent with that. He has killed 18 of them thus far. This creep spread would be even scarier if not for his work in this area. So tanks setting up in siege mode. Can they hit? I think this tank can probably hit. Yeah, this extractor at the 4th base for Snute. He's got a 5th base coming up too. So, I mean, he can't really afford to lose this, but he's not exactly dying. 5 Broodlords in production for Snute right now. Holy shimoli. And a big old drop from Kelazhur. Trying to sneak on into the main base. There are queens, but going for it anyway is Kelazhur. Unloading, trying to save his medevacs. And look at those queens just massacred Marines against Roach Ravager. They do have that +2 attack, which is real nice. Medevac is in range of that spore, though, and more reinforcements coming in from Snute, cleaning that attack out like crazy. But guess who's here at the 4th base is still Kelazhur. Broodlings causing friendly fire splash damage from those tanks on their own Marines. Vikings trying to get rid, or rather, Viking. Is this that one Viking? It's the one Viking. He's got 3 hit points and 1 kill, but man, he's trying to kill stuff this game. He really is trying to kill stuff. Another Spire being constructed by Snute. He wants those upgrades for these Broodlords, man. He wants all of them at the same time. 185 to 188 total supply. Kelazhur's up, but not by much. And it's 4 base to 5 base as Snute's 5th base does pop up here in the center of the map. Vipers in production for Snute. That's a huge deal too. Vipers with their Yoink ability and their Blinding Cloud, especially when there are so many tanks here for Kelazhur, are going to make a big deal. Big difference for the Zerg player. +3/+3 on the way from Kelazhur. He's just kind of happily mining. He's working on additional starports for those Vikings as you'll want. And he is a little bit supply blocked. But I guess he's building a supply depot, but then he's immediately supply blocked again because he has too much stuff in production. 3 medevacs trying to sneak on in here to the main base. Roaches and Ravagers trying to fight. Crucibles landing and almost picking off a medevac. Another one. Does get rid of some Marauders too. Crucible more effective than I've seen in a while. Here, most of the army coming back to deal with this, but then guess who's here at the front door of this 4th base? It is Kelazhur, and he does not have any support for these Broodlords here to Snute. Oh no, don't lose the Broodlords. That's a terrible plan. Vipers thrown down Blinding Cloud on those tanks, and then the Roaches and the Ravagers can't come in. The Fungo Bile keeping everybody in place while Corrosive Bile does a lot of work there too, but Kelazhur still has a pretty big army sitting here. 9 kills and 11 kills on 2 of those tanks. 5 kills on this one too, leaving and killing creep tumors while he decides to get out of there. That is going to slow down that creep spread immensely as a 5th base comes up for Snute, upgrading to a planetary fortress. Woo! This game won. Let me tell you what. This is a pretty good one. Pretty good game 1 to be game 1, I think is what that is. So anyway, a bit of a downtime here in game number 1 after some pretty much non-stop action for the first 13 minutes or so. Medevacs once again trying to move out. There aren't Corruptors and there aren't Mutas, so Snute doesn't really have a great answer for this except for just responding as necessary. Actually, you know what? He's got a lot of Corruptors now, and he has killed 11 Medevacs. Considering he hasn't made any Mutas, that's pretty good. I don't think any of those Medevac kills are Corruptor kills either, surprisingly. Viking clearing out Overlords to make it easier for this drop to sneak in without being spotted. Yeah, that's a pretty good move. Terran players take note of that one. Viking trying to fly into this natural base does get killed by Spore Crawlers. But the drop is here, and the drop is moderately hard to see. It's not invisible, but it's hard to see. And going to try to drop inside the main while the Queens are leaving. One of the Medevacs killed before it can unload anything. Oh, that's such bad news. It's just Queens, but with no Medevac support. Can they take down the Greater Spire, actually? Marauders trying to go for it. And the transfuses are keeping it alive intensely well. Wow, great job there by Snute with the transfuses. Without those, I think that was it for that greater spire, and it was upgrading too. It was upgrading the +1 flyer attack. And actually, this one's upgrading +2 flyer carapace. Never mind. But still, upgrades are upgrades. Running all over the creep. Got the Broodlords, got the Ravagers, got the Roaches. Got Overseers too, in case there are Widow Mines, but Kelazhur hasn't really made those in a while, has he? He has 0. He lost 2 of them, and that was it. I think those are the only 2 Widow Mines that he chose to make throughout this entire game. But, you know, better safe than sorry, especially if there happen to be cloaked ghosts. Once again, you got to make sure these Broodlords are covered, man. But good fungals up there. Great fungal bile on those Vikings. The Vikings having a rough time for sure. Ground units struggling here against the Broodlings, but there's a group of Vikings trying to take down this Broodlord count while getting parasitic bombed in the meantime. But check these Vikings out, just getting blown apart. And our Broodlord count is 2, which is not fantastic for Snute. He's forced to pull back. He's making 5 more Broodlords because when in doubt, continue making Broodlords. It's still 5 base to 5 base. I'm a little shocked Snute hasn't taken a 6th yet. 15 minutes into this game, he's had 4. I mean, he's had 5, rather, for a while now. But I guess he's only on 66 Harvesters, which isn't really enough to necessitate a 6th before now. Oh, 66 Harvesters for the 6th base, and there it is. Snute making that 6th base down here at the bottom section of the map. +2 ship weapons being researched by Kelazhur and getting a ghost. Is he going to go for nukes is the question. Nukes are pretty good against Broodlords just because they can't move very fast. They're very, very poor at dodging nuclear strikes, it turns out. All right, so Kelazhur trying to go for another drop. I would not say he's been super effective with this so far, but that's fine. 18,000 resources lost for Kelazhur compared to 12,000 for Snute. 6th base under assault here by these +3/+3 Marines and Marauders. Some Roaches show up. They do distract the fire here, and meanwhile an attack by Kelazhur up here right directly into the heart of Snute's creep spread. 6th base is saved. Attack is still ongoing for Kelazhur up here. He's trying to get rid of Overseers, I guess, but the transfuses for Snute are really good too. It's hard to kill anything while there are this many queens running around, especially big ticket items like those Overseers and those Broodlords, stuff that Snute really does want to keep alive. 6th base is done for Kelazhur, mind you. This is up and running, whereas Snute's just barely popped. Just barely popped here. Flyer Carapace level 2. Just about done. Is that 3? That's 3. I'm a liar. That's level 3 for Snute. And pushing on up. More Broodlords are here. Little groups of Marines. Not great against Broodlords. If you have a large group of Marines, maybe you can pull it off. But that was like 6. Not enough. Not enough. Personal cloaking for the ghosts. So having these Overseers was very, very smart for Snute. He knew he would need them at some point. Our Viking count is currently sitting at 18, which seems good. Maybe a little overmade. I guess there are 9 Broodlords, though. That's a lot of Broodlord. That is a lot of Broodlord. Dropping 10 Broodlords on an attempted 7th base, the command center. Trying to get built. Did get saved mostly by tanks, but the splash damage hurting the building, too. I don't know. I kind of feel like the Broodlords could maybe take that thing out just by using the tank splash damage against it. +1 attack is done for these tanks, but that's it. +1 vehicle and ship plating on the way, so finally getting some armor for his mech stuff is Kelazhur, and here comes the Kelazhur marching directly into the 6th base area. Does manage to kill 3 queens very quickly, but they do delay this just enough, I think, for the response. But no, the 6th base goes down. Way to go, Kelazhur, getting that 6th. I think Snute kind of needed that outcome, or that income. That outcome? That income. Outcome is not the opposite of income, surprisingly. Just had a bit of a realization there. And once again, Medivacs trying to sneak on in. I guess going after the 3rd base, which is entirely mined out. And losing a Medivac in the process. Marines and Marauders trying to kill queens. But did I say something about transfuses earlier in the game? I feel like I did. Because it is still very true. He is getting a nuke. Check this action out from Kelazhur. He is getting those nukes. Some Spore Crawlers trying to build on the edge of the creep, which is right pushing up against this 6th base of Kelazhur, which is not good if you're a Terran player. If you can see creep from where you live, something has gone terribly wrong. Parasitic bomb on these Vikings, and they stack, man. They clump up together and actually dropping the Vikings. What is that? Does that still hurt? Oh, I need to look that up. What does landing Vikings do against Parasitic Bomb? Why did he do that? EMP is tossed down on the Infestors, but then the Ghosts get chased down by Broodlings and murdered brutally. 7th base under construction, actually done for Kelazhur down along this left side. And 6th base for Snute is not done yet. Here comes more parasitic bomb on these Vikings, trying to split them. But as long as they're not dead, they still do a ton of damage here. But once again, Snute continuing to move into this 6th base location. Corrosive Biles on the landed Vikings. Where's the rest of the army? There's a couple tanks here. There's an abduct on one of the tanks, bringing it closer to the party, allowing the Broodlords to murder that. In this 6th place, a Planetary Fortress already has 23 kills, but Broodlords and Roaches, oh my, the Planetary Fortress does end up dead. Vikings killed by Corrosive Bile there too. And Snute continuing to push his way forward here. Can he get in is the question. Continuing to toss down Broodlings on top of everything that he can find. There's a couple of missile turrets here. They die instantly despite the repair going down on them. More ghosts in production. 13 SCVs murdered during that attack on this 6th base. And at 68 to 51 harvesters, Snute's only at 51 harvesters. That's got to be somewhat on purpose here. He would have more nuclear launch detected right on the edge of the creep. It's not going to hit anything unless Kelazhur decides to walk on into it for some reason, which I recommend against doing that. I mean, I guess it killed some creep tumors. That's fine. That's totally fine. Snute walks across the irradiated ground, corrosive biling down a couple of Vikings, couple of Marines here too. Got some cloaked ghosts in here. Overseer spots them with the Broodlings. Went in for the attack and then swung back home. We don't see that animation very much at all. Adrenal glands being researched by Snute. He wants those lings to have a great attack speed. All of these Zerglings that he has, which is currently, I want to say at 0. Yeah, he doesn't have any Zerglings, so I don't know why he's bothering with that upgrade. Perhaps later. Perhaps later it will come in handy here in game number 1. 6th base done for Snute. Much static defense coming up here, but it's not there yet. And a dropship has showed up with so many spores. Kelazhur's got to stop blind flying those guys in there. He's blind flying medevacs into places, and they're just getting murdered by spore crawlers mostly. And queens, I suppose. Another nuke detected. He's just trying to nuke his way through this little spore crawler wall, but guess what? Spore crawler wall says we can move. We're not stuck. High-sec auto-tracking on the way for Kelazhur, just because, you know, you want that upgrade. That nuke literally killed nothing. That was a sad nuke. Right on the top of creep. And Vikings, once again, just trying to kind of mass take out Broodlords. They do a +3 attack. 17 damage versus armor ×2. EMP thrown down. Takes out some of the energy on a couple of those queens. But in general, I don't think it matters too much here. Once again, the Vikings trying to get rid of the Broodlords as they try to get rid of the static defense. This is our Maginot Line, everybody. Ghosts are so brave. More EMPs tossed down, but losing a bunch of them in the process. They get close enough to do anything. They pretty much have to sacrifice a couple of their own to make it happen. Overseers flying in first, taking some of those shots. Overseers are cheaper than Broodlords. Good fungal there on these Vikings. Does kill one of them, but another one very close to death, but not quite there yet. Broodlings chewing up a tank. Upgrades, +3, +3, so many +3s. On +2 for melee attack for Snute too. He's working on +3. He's almost there. His upgrades have just been sick throughout this entire game. Another nuke set up here. Does Snute see this one is the question of the day. He does. He sees it. He's used that little dot. That little tiny dot. Once again, a 0-kill nuke, but nukes are fun anyway. Doesn't even kill none of his own stuff. It doesn't. Is there a changeling? It's like, why is there a blue thing with the army? Changeling. Changeling. So a lot of patience being displayed by both of these players. I'm going to just... Kelazhur hasn't taken any additional bases since that one that I previously mentioned here, since he got his 7th. Another, small attack, a Roach and Ravager up at Kelazhur's 5th base. It is mined out, essentially. It is very close to mined out, and it's Planetary Fortress, so I mean, killing anything you can with a PF is going to be fine. Another attack, not flying into the 6th base this time, but instead walking in normally. And static defense against +3/+3 Marines is not generally a good way to do this. We have attacks going on all over the place here. Finally, the Roach Ravager group gets cleared up. Mike Kelazhur's army, and the 6th base getting cleaned up by a bunch of fully upgraded Ravagers here too. EMPs on those infestors up here at the 6th base. The battle for the 6th is pretty intense. Ladies and gentlemen, Consume being thrown off of these spore crawlers. I assume that's what that is. Whoa! A ghost made it in to this 3rd base, and there's a nuke at the front too. Once again, I don't think this one's going to do much of anything unless it's friendly fire. Broodling's just getting massacred before they can do much of anything there. Did the nuke get cleaned up? Nuke got cleaned up at that location, and nuke is going to land at the front, but once again, no kills. This might be the most nukes I've ever seen without killing anything. Just goes to show how map aware Snute is here. He's just not allowing it. Not allowing these nukes to do what they want to do, which is murder Zerg. Ghost does get taken down by some Broodling swoops. And then they turn around. See? I don't know. They're just so close to firing, and then they... Oh, never mind. Never mind. 6 base for Snute. Still not assigned as a 7th. I feel like it's pretty safely take one, but he's effectively maxed out. He just fungled a single ghost. Oh, I guess that was probably fair. And then Broodlings finish him off. Yeah, nobody wants to expand. We're feeling pretty scared right here. 400 average APM for Snute, 350 for Kelazhur. I mean, these players are not messing around. Not messing around in the CBT at all. More canceling that Broodlord construction as some Marines came up very close to the edge here. Picking off, again, more creep tumors, of which 88 have been killed so far in this game. I don't think Broodlings show up. Another nuke attempt. Broodlings murder him real fast. Vikings get a couple volleys off on those Broodlords. How many Broodlords have died in this game? 11? Not bad. There's still 8, which is fine. How many ghosts? 13 ghosts have been killed. 36 Vikings have died. Shoot! That's a lot of dead Viking. Another nuke attempt here, but once again, in range of detection means you just get fired down, which is what these spore crawlers are for. They're there for anti-air. As a nice fungal catches a large group. Oh, a large group of those Vikings, but they do manage to survive. Heading back to the back there, that chain fungal didn't happen. 7th base coming up for Snute, and not where I expected it to be. He's creeping along left towards Kelazhur's bases. Not usually the typical expansion pattern if you happen to be a Zerg player as good as Snute is, but I'm not going to question him. Not going to question him on this even a little tiny bit. Just not going to happen. It's just a never-ending battle here of Viking versus Broodlord. Got some SCVs repairing the Vikings. They too take a lot of damage. They take a heck of a lot of damage. 14 spore crawlers in production at once for Snute. That seems like a pretty good number. Maybe another drop here. Vikings volleying off from distance. Broodlords being thrown down to get rid of Marines and Vikings. 192 Marines have been killed so far. A lot of stuff. 7th base detected. Snute was trying to take this. Kelazhur accidentally flies over it with a drop and then forces a cancel on it. I really don't see Snute saving this. He's close, but he's not close enough. And he doesn't even cancel it, surprisingly. Two nukes at a time in production for Kelazhur, feeling very strongly that nukes are the answer to this game. There are the Zerglings. 42 Zerglings in production for Snute. They're going to be +3/+3 cracklings with adrenal glands. I mean, that's a lot of DPS. If you are not fighting a planetary fortress, maybe you can get up here into this 3rd base location. There's a lot of starports here and some orbital commands. Killing those would not be too bad. All right, one more nuke attempt. Might actually take out a couple of spore crawlers this time. No, Snute unrooting and getting out. Lings are actually taking down this planetary fortress. Wow, on the left side. And are they going to get it is the question of the day. 3, 2, 1, and oh, wow. Fully upgraded Lings actually can pull that off a lot better than I thought. Kelazhur trying to land a base where Snute's 7th base is. No, probably not. Another nuke attempt here at the front door where there used to be spore crawlers. It is forcing Snute back. Here's what it's doing. Roaches, Lings, Ravagers trying to roll on in to save the 7th base. More Zerglings are here than I think Kelazhur was counting on. And they all get murdered. And the 7th base does live on for Snute. Command Center must find a home elsewhere. I mean, losing that planetary fortress. Maybe you go back there? Maybe. Income not looking good, though, for our Terran player. About doubled up by Snute right here. Liberator versus Broodling is kind of fun. Broodlings that aren't going anywhere. Roach Ravager sneaking on up to this 3rd base location where, again, a lot of supply depots and a lot of production for Kelazhur. He's starting to lose he's starting to lose army. A lot of SCVs getting murdered here. Marines and Marauders trying to deal with this Roach Ravager army with Corrosive Bile. It does force him back, though. 182 to 151 total supply. Pretty good battle right here. Who's going to win this thing? The Ravagers attacking from distance. Double nukes at the front from Kelazhur. Can he get these things to land? Once again, the Spore Crawlers retreating from the south. The ones in the north, though, just kind of hanging around. And I think these both are going to hit, amazingly enough. Alrighty then. Got some kills. Double nukes across the sky. What does it mean? Ravagers, Lings just continuing to flood into this third base location of Kelazhur's. Marines and Marauders just getting cleaned out without mercy. Losing starports, not even bothering to lift at this point. Kelazhur's attention must be elsewhere or else he's feeling the stress. Marines trying to join on in here and generally pretty good against Zerglings, but with Ravager support and full upgrades on those Zerglings, I don't know about that. More and more Liberators getting murdered by Queens. Ghosts trying to come in, getting chewed up by them Broodlings. Lings trying to attack into this army. Okay, maybe this is actually not a great idea if you're the Zerglings. Yeah, wow, working out a lot better than I thought it would. Zerglings are now in their production facilities, and that's a good game. Well played from Kelazhur. Kelazhur is defeated, and Snute, woo, is victorious here in game number 1 after 31 minutes and 10 seconds. Jibba. Wow. All right. So, I mean, that was game 1. That was game 1 of a best of 5, you guys. This is going to be a good series. As turns out, resources lost 61,000 for Kelazhur compared to a mere, what is that, 34,000? Wow, 34,000 lost by Snute. Just cost efficientness from those Broodlords mostly, I want to say. And yeah, just didn't lose much for a 31-minute game. 174 Lings, 14 Broodlords, 70 Roaches. Only 14 Ravagers, 7 Infestors, 7 Vipers, 13 Queens, 117 of those Creep Tumors, and 2 Hatcheries. Kelazhur lost 3 Planetary Fortresses and 2 Orbital Commands, which is a lot of stuff. 249 Marines, 49 Vikings, 2 Liberators, 12 Tanks, 21 Medivacs, and 42 SCVs. Both players losing exactly 42 SCVs, which is not something to see every day. All right, that's going to be it for game number 1. Let's come back with game number 2 in just a second. Welcome back, StarCraft fans, to this best of 5 between Kelazhur and Snute on Odyssey, the Ladder Edition. In the bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Snute. And in the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Kelazhur. All right, so Kelazhur versus Snute coming back for more after a 30-minute game number 1. What do these guys have for us in game number 2? I don't think I have an answer for that yet. That's why we are here. We're here to find out. So I won't be casting with Gauntlet today, unfortunately. Got some family stuff going on later on this afternoon. But I'm sure some amazing casters will be there to cast the Gauntlet Global Open number 17. I believe it is. Guess who was there last time, you guys? Neeb. Neeb came last time. He was amazing. It was really, really fun to have him around. And we have players like Puck show up, Snute show up from time to time. I mean, if you want to see some really established players come out to win $50 versus other players who are up and coming and going to be those pro players, going to be those household names sooner rather than later, check out the Open, twitch.tv/GauntletSC2. Alrighty then. Snute on this map did go pool first into a hatchery at his natural base location. Got his Overlord scouting way up here, checking for proxies maybe. I can't imagine this Overlord's doing anything else. Also this one too, checking for proxies. Kelazhur has been known to proxy from time to time, and this is a pretty good map for it. So that would be why Snute is checking down along the bottom side, up along the right side. Figure out if Kelazhur has anything planned. It is another Reaper from Kelazhur. The last Reaper got a drone kill, so let's give it up. Give it up for Reaper Bill. Bill is the most chill Reaper you will ever meet. Just don't ask him about Jill. Oh, there's some backstory there we are not privy to. Actually, hold on. Double Reaper play. Is that another bear? 3 racks Reaper. All right, Kelazhur. He's going 3 racks Reaper. Which means, do we have a Reaper group name list headed by Bill? Reaper group name. I don't know that we do. That's probably my fault, though. All right, so Lings are heading up again against checking a unorthodox path. Reaper shows up, Queen ready to go. That's why this pool first is pretty good in the early game, you guys. Getting that Queen out is amazing against early Reaper. Lings checking to see, is there an expansion? No. Shoot, it's a one-baser, and there's another Reaper. It is 3 racks. Reaper, can Snute hold this? Is the question of the day. Gonna lose a couple Lings pretty much immediately to that one Reaper that was held back home. And yeah, 3 racks Reaper is gonna be the story of the day. What's the response from Snute? Just making Lings getting speed? KD8 charge blowing that Queen back. Can they kill this Queen? Ah, but another Queen shows up. 2 Queens versus 2 Reapers. Even the best micro in the world. And in a straight-up fight, you're not going to win that thing. More Reapers joining the party. Bill is in here among his peers. KD8 charges, trying to pick off. They do get the Creep Tumor. Bill is severely injured, as this Queen is too. Throws down a Creep Tumor before she dies. KD8 charge. Again, it's 10 damage every time you KD8 charge. And it hits something. One of the Queens does end up going down. Loses a Reaper here too, but no, Kelazhur. Looking fantastic, killing those Creep Tumors. Why are you not moving in? I guess checking for a third, maybe healing up a little bit. Another Queen is ready to join the party, but 1 Queen against this many Reapers is bad. Is real bad. Also, I don't know about the Zergling thing. The Zerglings can't really get a surround off this many Reapers because of KD8 charge. Look at how many Lings are going down, trying to get that surround. Can they get it? They get a bit of a surround, but again, the charges are too good. Blowing up Lings like they are made of paper mache. However, still going for it is Snute. Whee! Everybody's taking a ride here today. 2 Reapers have died and 18 Zerglings have gone down, as well as 2 Queens. The Lings are going for a counterattack, which actually does pull the Reapers. Oh, pulls the Reapers away. Are you kidding? This little counterattack? I mean, the delay with a couple of Reapers here at the front door of the natural base. One of them gives his life for this, but it does buy enough time for the second base to go down, right? Is it? No, the SCV dies! Oh no, the SCV got killed. Oh, that is so bad. But all the Lings will get murdered as they're kind of trapped in here with these Reapers. But again, they're sacrificing their lives so that Snute can reestablish stuff back home. And the natural base does go down for Kelazhur. Snute taking a 3rd base in the middle of all of this and just going all of the Zerglings he can possibly come up with right now. Command center, 3rd base being built by Kelazhur out of this, and a factory too. So these Reapers have one more go. I think they've got one more salvo they can toss Snute's way before they might be a little bit obsolete here. Do you have a scan available? Yeah, it does have a scan available. Trying to pick off these Queens and Creep Tumors while the scan is still up. The Zerglings show up, though. Pick off a few of them, and a Creep Tumor pops at the same time. So now 6 Reapers have been killed. 32 Zerglings, and guess who's up inside his main base? How do these Lings get in here? That's what Snute is thinking, actually. How do these Lings get in here? Dude, you could pick off a couple more SCVs and a Mule. This is a lot of Zergling. Actually, they're just going after SCVs. Like they're made of delicious, delicious candy. It is October. Halloween's coming up soon. How much candy are you going to eat? I'm going to eat 3 metric tons. Even though I say I'm not going to, as is tradition. 10 SCVs killed, 25 to 28 Harvesters. The Lings do get cleaned up by the Reapers again, coming back home. But guess who's here? Round 8 of Lings wrecking this natural base. SCV comes out, immediately gets murdered. Why would you make me come out here, says the SCV. 15 SCVs killed. 32 to 23 Harvesters. Snute is up on his 3 bases. These Zerglings have been way more effective than I thought they ever would be in this situation. I mean, don't try this against Beyond, but I mean, anybody else, maybe you're probably okay. Probably okay to try to do this thing with the Zerglings. Zerglings holding Zalnaga Watchtower, trying to keep an eye on where these Reapers are at all times. And guess who's coming back for more? Lings going back for more. Sneaking up, and you know what? I think they could do more damage here at this natural base. Sure, there are a handful of Marines, 8 of them to be exact, but these Zerglings, they don't take no for an answer, man. Don't take no for an answer. Good positioning, actually, inside his own. Good lift, too, inside his own mineral line there by Kelazhur. Enough to chase those away. Did the Reapers come home? The Reapers had to come home once again. They have not been allowed to be as aggressive as they want because they've been forced to play home defense to these Zerglings. This is a brilliant strategy. I got to start incorporating this. I mean, you just have to have as much macro as Snute does when you're being 3 racks Reapered, and you're going to be fine. That's easy, right? Super duper easy. Reapers on top versus Lings on top. The surround, not greatest micro there from Kelazhur. KD8 charges, hitting a couple of these dudes, making them fly on up. Couple Reapers do end up getting killed, but a lot of Zerglings too. Creep spread continuing to push. More creep there is, the better this is for the Zerg player. He can see the Reapers coming, which makes his life infinitely easier. Baneling Nest, +1/+1. 16 more lings in production for Snute. He has something planned right now. He would be droning up, but he's already up 20 workers, so why drone up? Getting a 4th base at the gold. Up along this right side is the Zerg player, and getting a Spire. So Ling Bling Muta seems to be the recipe for Snute here, and he's so far ahead. I just don't really see what Kelazhur is going to be able to do against this, especially once Mutas start popping out, and these medevacs are in a lot of trouble. 30 more lings in production. Yeah, I think you got this. I think you got this. +1 armor is done for these lings. Our Reaper group is in a lot of trouble now. They're being chased. Can they hop up? Sort of. Oh, no. 2 or 3 more of them do get killed. High ground, pretty good advantage for the Reapers, though. Lings have to go all the way around. Cannot fly. Remember that upgrade in the Heart of the Swarm campaign where Lings could jump up cliffs? Oh, that was good. That was a good upgrade. Lings here trying to deal with this big drop. 16 Marine drop here inside the main base, but Queens and Lings, enough Lings will make it happen. When you don't have that +1/+1 quite yet for your Marines. All right, so 4th base going to pop pretty much in safety here. Kelazhur's got a 3rd base while keeping all this pressure up too. So, I mean, these guys, they are no slouches at the game of StarCraft. I can tell you that much. +2/+2. Speed for Overlords. Speed and +5 health increments for Snute's Banelings. Lings trying to come in here to the 3rd base. Nah, getting chased away by a bunch of Marines and Marauders. Not enough. Not enough Zerglings. He has so many, though. He has 75 Zerglings. Just go for it, man. If he can kill this 4th, feeling pretty good about your ability to kill this 4th base, man. Or maybe just surround Marines who are flying around your creep and sometimes getting out to walk, which seems like a poor life choice. Any mutas? 3 mutas in production for Snute, getting an infestation. Pit getting +1 flyer attack. He's just doing pretty much whatever he wants right now, as long as he's staying active. Ah, here we go. Here come our mutas to pick off these medevacs. I assume that's what this is. Yep, trying to boost on out. You're going to run a boost eventually, though. And when you do, pretty good positioning by Kelazhur, actually. The mutas can't quite pick off that medevac. A big attack of Marines at the 4th base goal, though. Snute's going to end up losing this 4th. Good distraction by Kelazhur. Great multitasking there. Snute entirely obsessed with taking out these couple medevacs in the south of the map and losing his 4th base in the process. Shoo! Shoo, I say. That is the sound that comes out of my mouth when that stuff happens. Mutas again trying to pick off medevacs. Marines trying to make sure that does not happen, but there are so many Zerglings here to say, you know what? No. You leave my Mutalisks alone. +2 armor on those guys. That is just really handy here. And this 3rd base, I think, is just toast. I mean, this is a lot of Zerglings. The SCV is trying to mess up the pathing of these Lings, and it does work, actually. Snute is forced to retreat. I'm surprised he didn't hold position there. That is a good trick, actually. If you're a Terran player and that happens to you, hold position, right? Hold position your SCVs in the middle. The Lings won't attack them unless they're being attacked, and it kind of messes up their AI. Their pathing goes pretty wonky. Hive, a 10-minute hive for Snute. Pretty fantastic. And once again, Kelazhur forcing this entire army back from whence it came. 5th base being built by Snute here down towards the southern section of the map, just down the ramp from the main, close to home, but kind of far away from home if you're trying to defend over land. +3 melee carapace being researched by Snute at 11 minutes, which is like Terran timing. Ultralisk too. Ultralisk Cavern. Widow Mines! We're finally getting Widow Mines being produced. 5 of them. There's 5 out there with Drilling Claws being researched. Another drop attempt by Kelazhur, but once those mutas are out, it just gets hard. It just gets real hard. Although these mutas happen to be in the south, not the north. But the Lings do force an unload regardless. And the Lings are forced to run away once again there. +3 melee attack from Snute at 11 minutes and 54 seconds. That's pult timing, you guys. That is pult timing for upgrades. Lings on top of this supply depot. On top of this attempt at a 4th base here, 2 mutas just flying on in. There's a Thor, though. So you can't clump up your Mutalisks as much as he wants to once there's a Thor out of this location. Engineering Bay goes down. Contaminate tossed down in the Engineering Bay, working on +3 attack for the bio. And Kelazhur manages to hold this while sending another very scary attack up here to this 4th base. Can he kill this base? Once again, there are queens, there are lings, there are banelings that are lagging behind a little bit here. Widowmine murdered before it can fire. And banelings clearing that all out. Oh, the lift timing by Kelazhur, not as good. Not as good. Widowmine's just trying to beg the mutas. Fly into the Widowmines, please, Mutalisks. That's what you want to do. Killing a couple Overseers from the ground, though, pretty fantastic. For these +2/+2 Marines and Marauders. His upgrade timings are not bad, considering how much he delayed with all those Reapers at the first. How many Reapers are left? They all died? They all got killed. Bill and his friends are all dead. Marines marching on in to this 5th base of Snute. And some drones might stop it? No, the drones are not going to stop it. That base is gone. Good DPS from Kelazhur there. He's got his 4th base. It has landed, upgrading to a planetary fortress, as you want to do, and chitinous plating coming up from Snute at the same time. He's got Ultralisks in production. Fully upgraded Ultras at 13 minutes is pretty darn scary, especially if you're this Marine heavy. He's got 40 Marines, 2 Liberators, 7 Marauders, and 2 Thors. And surprise! Kelazhur knows about the Ultras now. I don't know if he wants to engage here. He's target firing down Banelings as well as you can. That was some really good target firing, but one of the Thors goes down anyway. Lings on top of these Thors. Ultralisks trying to clear on in, but he doesn't have any fungal to hold them still. That doesn't matter. It is enough to force Kelazhur back. Single Marine trying. No, Mutalisks take him down. Take him right on down. Mutas are picking off the Liberators while the Ultras are dealing with everything else that is on the ground here for Kelazhur. Kelazhur in full retreat. Double pumping Liberators, getting Widowmines. Widowmines firing on Banelings is pretty good stuff, actually. 16 Banelings have been killed when they didn't want to die so far. And Snute decides it is time for him to retreat on home. Kelazhur lifting up, going for a drop. Once again, sneaking around the bottom side of the map. Can he find anything squishy, anything unprotected that he can kill? Snute does have a few lings. I was going to say a few lings sitting here in the main base to defend with, but nope. They went out to join the rest of their friends out here on the front line. That's where they heard all the action is. And they're not wrong about that, actually. Mutas here at this... Whoa! SCV transfer! Bad SCV transfer! Trying to take a 5th base. Eek, is Kelazhur up here at the north, but beat him there. Ah, Ling's taking out a Thor. Poor darn Thor. Poor Thor getting surrounded by Zerglings and murdered. That's got to be a terrifying experience. You're kind of trapped inside a Thor, and all of a sudden you just hear this tink, 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 tink of Zerglings on the outside of your Thor, and you know you're going to die. You're going to explode in that thing. There's not much you can do. Ultralisk killed at the front. Marines, Marauders with +3/+2. +3 armor is on the way. Just pouring the DPS in. Does Snute have any infestors at all? No. Dude, if you're going to go Ultras against Bio, you have to have infestors. Pro tip for a pro from Falcon Paladin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base for Snute up in the top right-hand corner of the map. Muta's going after this planetary fortress here at this location, and can they take down the PF? No, 1 missile turret enough to chase them away. Oh, that was a full medevac. They could have killed. Snute realizes it too late. That's hilarious. That's actually really funny. Taking out missile turrets trying to be constructed. And the next time the Mutas come around, and you know what? Doesn't really work out too well. Another attempt to drop here by Kelazhur here up at Snute's 6th base in the top right. Does get chased away. Muta's just killing SCVs with wild abandon there. 26 SCVs have been killed so far. 5 drones have gone down. Banelings rolling around by themselves. Once again, unsupported, not as fantastic. Small group of Marines and Marauders hoofing it away from those front lines, trying to get to somewhere safe, possibly somewhere where there's a medevac, but nope. Instead, the Mutas find them and kill them all. I think a couple Mutas ended up getting killed. That was probably worth it. Probably worth it. Big drop again here at Snute's 6th base in the top right-hand corner. Can he save it? Not even trying. And Kelazhur making stuff happen, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bases already up. A 6th base coming up of his gold. Finally getting his gold. 16 minutes into this game. Liberator splash damage against Mutas pretty fantastic. Mutas can't necessarily engage if there are that many Liberators in the sky. And Snute rolling across the center of the map here with Lings, with Banelings, with fully upgraded Ultralisks of 7 armor in their name. Mutas flying around, picking off medevacs here at the natural base, trying to kill a bunch of SCVs. Maybe trying to lead these guys away. Doesn't do a good job of it, though. And And coming up the ramp, surprise attack! Banelings, can they connect? No! No, they do not connect at all. There's still a bunch of them, though, but now Kelazhur's ready for it. You kind of have to sneak attack if you're going to make that thing happen. Also, maybe some infestors would be nice. Just throwing that out there. Maybe infestors would be nice. Snute working on his 7th base down here in the center section of the map. Creep spread is already here for it, too. Mutas do take out the missile turret here at this 5th base of Kelazhur's. Another huge attack of Banelings and Lings and Ultra is up here at the north, though, at Kelazhur's orbital command. Not a planetary fortress, surprisingly, on that one. So, resources lost to this point. We've got 15,000 lost for Kelazhur compared to 18,000 for Snute. Small attack for Snute. Ah, going to cancel this burrow upgrade. Whoa, denying the burrow by getting rid of this 4th base of Snute's. Actually, the 5th base of Snute's. Mutalisks and Corruptors going after Kelazhur's 5th. And the 6th base is still alive, building another missile turret to try and save this thing. Yeah, immediately replanting his 5th base here is Snute. Another attack, and Muta's trying to come into Kelazhur's 4th, but no. That's not going to happen. Actually, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is this... Was that a 6th base up here? I think that was probably a 6th base. Or was the Kelazhur? That was the gold base was the 6th. That's what that was. That's what that was. Anyway, both players have a lot of bases. Another attack up at the front from Snute. Ultralisks and Banelings crashing on in. Getting rid of a lot of that buy. Ultra's getting rid of the supply depots too. Supply blocked pretty handily. Is Kelazhur here. Planetary Fortress south of the natural base for Kelazhur is in a lot of trouble. If these Banelings hit on these SCVs, and they do, Planetary Fortress is gone. Oh, can't afford to lose that base. That was a huge, huge deal. Ultralisks continuing to move on in. Mutas taking splash damage from Liberators and from Thors, which is real bad, actually. 20 Mutas have been killed so far. Snute is down to 2. And Kelazhur forced to retreat, or forced rather, does force Snute away from this location all the way back home. Kelazhur doesn't know about this base, does he? He doesn't know about it, but he knows about it now. Hey, look, juicy drones. That I'm going to ignore entirely because there's a huge army down there. Marines picking off a couple Mutalisks, no big deal. The remaining Mutas for Snute. I don't know if he's going to keep going with this, honestly. Corruptors might be the future here. Ultra's walking through Liberator circles of doom, though, which is not good for them. They're alive, though, I suppose. And chasing this huge Bile army, lifting the Thor to save it. What a play. And who steers? Oh, there's still Marines here in the main base of Snute. Some Lings trying to deal with this. Are there enough Lings? And you know what? There are. Wow, fully upgraded Lings, you guys. No joke. No joke at all. 0.35 weapon speed is real fast. It's real fast is what it is. Marines have a 0.61, which they increase. Greatly increasing their attack speed with stim. To what, I wonder? Is it faster than 0.35? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Zerglings going to town on Kelazhur's attempt at a 5th base up here. And it's forced to lift off the command center. The army's coming back to deal with it. He does leave some units back home because he knows the Ultras are probably going to come in, but I guess he has to deal with these Lings, man. He does manage to deal with them inside the natural base. Once again, no infestors. This is crazy to me. I don't understand why he's not making infestor. He's up 196 to 170 total supplies, so I mean, he's not exactly in a terrible place, but Liberator swinging on in, getting rid of a Corruptor. Corruptor death count is currently 13, which is a lot. A lot of stuff, and Snute retreating once again to the safety of his creep, the relative safety of his creep, at least you can see when Kelazhur is attacking on in here. Overlord, I guess, scouting this? Maybe that's a bad rally. I don't know. Creep spread pushing that way. We'll be there soon. This creep spread is everywhere, though. When it's this close to your natural base as a Terran player, you know you're in for a bad time. So current composition for Snute is going to be Ultra and Ling and Corruptor, and with some Queen support. That's it. Kelazhur, on the other hand, a lot of Marines, 13 Marauders, 6 Liberators, 2 Thors, Corruptors in the sky, Corruptors in the sky, 12 of them. And once again, just trying to kill everything he can on the edge of this creep and slowly, slowly move the Zerg player back. This is kind of how I imagine Zerg versus Terran battles go in, you know, in the non-game version, in the lore version, is it's just Zerg are pushing their creep up. You gotta push it back, keep the creep away. Because creep is where Zerg is, and it's very, very scary. A bunch of Ultras here defending the 7th base for Snute. And gonna do okay with it. Dude, you can't just stand there and fight. Baneling's getting some good oh, the flank attack! The flank attack from Snute. No, Kelazhur manages to escape, but he's gonna lose all of his Liberators, which is bad, bad, bad for him. Target firing on those Banelings. All that's left are these Ultralisks, moving the Overseers away as there are some missile turrets present. And Medevac's getting picked off by Corruptors here too. 179 to 115 total supply. Ultras do manage to retreat from this location. Planetary Fortress with an army defending it. And some SCV repair is pretty fantastic. Widow Mines do fire a couple more times before getting cleaned out here by the Ultras on the ground. But, I mean, army supply right now is 3,500 for Kelazhur compared to about 10,000 for Snute. So he's getting some transfuses from the Queens. Gonna get rid of this blockade, which, again, has this glowy force field on thing on it. And I guess once the force field is destroyed, it just sinks into the ground. Yeah, I don't know. Some weird tech. I'll tell you that much. Some very, very odd tech. Kelazhur trying to take another race. Desperately trying to take another race. Guess who's there? Lings and Ultras, though. Go find your base somewhere else. Ultralisks and Lings are cruising right up here towards this 3rd base location of Kelazhur. Got a small group of Marines and Marauders trying to join the party. They're getting absolutely immediately overwhelmed, and that's it. A good game. Well played by Kelazhur. Kelazhur is defeated, and Snute is your victor here, taking game number 2 and a 2-0 lead in this best of 5, which just means, will he 3-0 Kelazhur here today, or will Kelazhur fight and scratch and claw his way to a game number 4? Game number 3 is going to be a huge one, you guys. Don't miss it. Stick around, because we'll be right back. And back for game 3 of this best of 5 are Kelazhur and Snute here on Acolyte, the ladder edition. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player, whose name is Snute. And in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Kelazhur. So a TVZ still coming at you guys in this best of 5. Will Snute close it out now and move on to the semifinals? Or will Kelazhur force a game number 4 and possibly a game number 5 and possibly move on himself? We don't know. We don't know. And that's why we are here watching these games. And don't think that I won't trick you guys. Don't think I won't put my little anti-spoiler screen at the end. So you look at the remaining time and say, oh, obviously there's a game 4 and a game 5, because you don't know. It could just be filler. Could be nothing in there. Ah, now you're second guessing yourself, aren't ya? Just a little bit. Do want to make a quick plug for Patreon in the early stages of this game, where not much is happening. Patreon.com/FalconPaladin. There's a link in the top right for that. You can support me for my daily Legacy of the Void cast, as well as Brood War stuff, cheese compilations, One Trick Wednesdays, this Sunday specials too, just for as little as $1 a month on patreon.com/FalconPaladin. Other reward tiers exist. If you want to check those out, click the link, and that's going to be it. So, will it be a Reaper from our Kelazhur? The answer is yes. Yes, it is. All right, so here's another really long one. This is Dougal. When Dougal killed himself all those years ago, he thought he evaded the wrath, the King of Blades. But Kerrigan would not allow that, so she infested him and raised his corpse from the dead. Wasn't he already infested? For years, what little sanity that remained with Dougal was tortured out of him by Abathur, and he was turned into the perfect agent of the new swarm. When he finally broke, he was released into the galaxy and given one directive: bring down Mengsk and burn his empire. And so he did just that, burning settlements, infiltrating Dominion outposts, and methodically purging them of human life. And finally, he attempted to assassinate the Emperor himself. He was unsuccessful and was even captured by Minx, but instead of killing him outright, Minx used him as a guinea pig for experimental psi technology. After years of more torture and experimentation, the scientists of the Dominion finally figured out how to free Degall from Kerrigan's control, but only to enslave him for themselves. For years, Degall was an agent of Minx until eventually Valerian came into power and attempted to shut down his father's experiments, but he failed at destroying several subjects that were just too dangerous to attempt to kill. One of these was Degall, and though he did not attack unless threatened, he was able to rip apart a staggering 123 Dominion soldiers, including several Goliaths and some of the Dominion's best ghosts. As he comes on in, trying to get one of these drones into... Whoa, not even close, though. Not even close, Degall. Though it was risky, Valerian believed that Degall would still respond to his orders as long as he was not in danger. So Valerian ordered Degall to enter a specifically designed Reaper suit that would play pre-recorded orders from Valerian. Now with his new master, Degall is constantly being sent on suicide missions in the name of the Dominion. Will Degall eviscerate his enemies, or will this mission be the one that finally gives him the peace of death? Wow, he's been around. Degall has. So far, no kills. Pretty good defense here from Snute with queens. Mostly. This is a real hard base to knock down for Zerg because it's protected for Kelazhur. So there's a wall. Got some Hellions coming in here too. And Queen on the low ground waiting. But here come the Hellions trying to get some shots off. Don't do a lot of damage against Queens as they are not light units. Almost creep spread out there where the Hellions were, but then thought best of it and canceled it just about immediately. So third base on the way from Snute. Is he preparing for a third Kelazhur? He is not, but he's got 4 Hellions and a Reaper at the front here. Can he? Oh, forces another. Oh, did he kill that one? I think he killed that creep tumor. Way to go. Way to go. Another creep tumor going down. Nope, does take some fire, though, just because it was in the way of where these queens were. So the splash damage actually did some damage to it. Not something you see all the time. And that is an armory, you guys. Is Kelazhur going battle cruiser here? Hold on. Hold on. He can't. He can't possibly. Okay, it's just going to be advanced ballistics. Yeah. All right, so we're upgrading the range on the Liberators here. Viking is going to take down a scouting overlord on the right side of the map. Could move up to possibly kill this one, too. He's making a beeline for it. He knows there's one up here somewheres, and he's going to kill it before he sees, well, much of anything. As it turns out, Kelazhur trying to set up a contain here at the front with his 4 Hellions and Degall. KD8 charge does blow the Queens in their various directions. Don't put them off creep too far, guys. That's pretty scary stuff. And yeah, Viking with 2 kills. You'll notice the Snute is not supply blocked after that because he prepared by having extra Overlord because he knew his scouting ones would probably die. All right, so advanced ballistics is about halfway complete, and the Liberators are moving out. All right, so where do you set up with advanced ballistics on this map? I guess maybe back here. There's a lot of dead space here, though, before you can hit those mineral lines. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure Kelazhur knows what he's doing, but I just don't feel like there's anywhere you can go that you're safe, necessarily. Which, I mean, you want to be safe, right? That's kind of how this thing works. Third base being constructed inside the main by Kelazhur. Does Snute know about it? He does. Yeah, he does know about it. And Liberator, here it is. Setting up, but there's already a queen here. Not even, oh, wait, why aren't you using the upgrade? You can set up your circles farther away than that, can't you? Yeah, but still in range of the queen. Dang it, Kelazhur. Well, it worked out so far. Got a couple shots off there. Not dead yet. The Liberator pilot can actually cover... All right. So, yeah. Looks like can cover these 3 mineral patches. Unless a Spore Crawler comes in which case you're in a lot of trouble. And still alive here is Degall. 6 minutes into this game is a pretty long time for a Reaper. Hellions trying to kill creep tumors. Any scans available? No. But continuing to push it on back. Third base is landing. Fourth base being constructed by Snute down along this bottom side of the map. Stim being researched, +1 attack being researched for bio. Kelazhur is moving nicely into a bio tank type situation. Tank production has begun for him too. Another Liberator sets up shop. There you go, here at the third base location. And then once again, Spore Crawler trying to get in a place where it can actually attack. Is that within range? And it is. The Liberator decides to get up and move out of there. Spore Crawler kind of forced to run. Oh, where did you go? No. Are the drones near it? Yeah, okay. So the Queen getting some nice shots off there on that Liberator. So this Liberator range is really helping Kelazhur quite a bit here. Still hanging out at the front is Degall on all of his friends. Got a infestation pit and a Spire on the way from Snute for them flying units and infestors. Again, I don't know why he made no infestors in game number 2. That made no sense to me. It really was very confusing. In fact, Liberator again trying to do stuff here at this safe base location. And getting shoved away by Queens and by Spore Crawlers. Actually, does this... Oh, wow. It actually has the range. Transfuses. Keeping the Queen alive. And the Liberator... Oh, sacrifices her life for it. Liberator trying... Oh, just barely in range there. Queens are in range too. But losing Queens in the process to this Liberator. 1, 2, transfuse, and... Oh, so almost dead. 9 hit points. And setting up at the 4th base, too. This Liberator play really, really annoying for Snute right now. How many drones have, in fact, been killed? Only 5, and the Liberator gets murdered there, too. So 2 Liberators dead for 5 drone kills? I don't know. I don't think that was super cost efficient. But that's all right. Speed for Overlords is done. Still attacking this front here is Dagall and his Hellion friends. Killing these creep tumors. Dude, you could probably get these ones, too. He's worried, though. He's worried about going on the creep. Those Queens are mean. Queens are extraordinarily mean. 6 Mutalisks in production for Snute, working on a hive at 8.5 minutes. Marine production is in overgear right now. For Kelazhur, he's making 8 at a time. Marines coming up this left side, trying to kill these creep tumors. Again, killing these creep tumors is a lot of what Kelazhur is trying to do. Ling's trying to come across the middle of the map, getting caught by Kelazhur's main army, though. And sneaking up again. It's just Snute trying to take a 5th base up at this location. The Mutas and the Lings are here, though, and boosting away. And then unloading in a place where the Lings can't come. The Mutas should not engage there, and they decide to run away. Bigger attack at the bottom side here. Coming along down the right is Kelazhur. He's got his Hellions. Is his Reaper dead? No, his Reaper's in the middle there. Dagall's in the middle of the action. 9.5 minutes, still alive. Which is not shabby. Not too shabby. Where is he? There he is. He's got 3 kills. It's not too bad. Probably creep tumors mostly, but that's fine. Unloading here at where Snute's trying to take his 5th base while trying to defend his 4th base at the same time. He's sending Lings to both locations. He's going to save the 5th, but is there anything... Oh, no. He's completely abandoning. Why is he sending the drones away? Go, Kelazhur, go. Get the hatchery. Snute is letting you have this. Wow, he made a choice, and he chose to lose this one instead. Strange. Maybe he didn't have enough. He might not have had enough. He's rushing to Ultralisks. He's got 10-minute Ultralisk Cavern here. But that put us at 4th base, 4 base to 4 bases. Kelazhur sitting on 4 bases up here on the top section of the map. A lot of gas income for Snute. I think he has all of the extractors he can possibly have. Is he taking the ones at his new 4th yet? Not quite yet. Creep tumors are spreading here too. So the Marines do have the +2/+1, working on +2 armor. Not quite there yet. And trying to be aggressive and mobile. Here is Snute everywhere he can possibly go. Marines getting rid of creep tumors on the ground. Banelings, Lings trying to join this party. Doesn't quite like what he has yet. He has the infestation pit, but I think that was just for the hive because he doesn't have any infestors at all. Which I don't understand. Is Kelazhur proven super adept at avoiding fungals? Is that what we're looking at here? Seems possible. Seems like that could be it. This is a huge counterattack from Snute. Checking to see, is there a 5th base up yet? No. Is there a 4th base? There is. And I was kind of sandwiched, which is a bit of a problem. Is he going for it? He's kind of going for it. Some Lings trying to hold off while everybody else runs. Those Banelings could get rid of that planetary fortress, but I think he might need them. I think he might need them later because Kelazhur's pushing across the middle of the map. Chitinous plating on the way for Snute. It's not a long upgrade. Ah, the Mutas, though, flying across. A lot of Marines, a lot of Thors. Getting some shots off there, too. Banelings. Oh, no, losing all the Banelings. Oh, he lost them all anyway. Oh, no. Nicely done by Kelazhur, but Snute just kind of gave those to him. Replacement 4th base going to die here, too. Snute just does not have the Baneling count or the Ultra count to make that thing happen. That hatch is toast. Super duper mega toast. And sitting on this ramp is Kelazhur. Resources lost to this point. Terran player has lost a mere 2,100, where Snute has lost 6,700. which is a pretty big discrepancy. Pretty darn cost efficient so far from our Terran player. All right, so big section of the army for Kelazhur going home. He's leaving a bunch of Marines down here. +2/+2 on those guys. +3/+3 coming in at 12 minutes and 28 seconds. Marines trying to fight against these Lings. There are some Hellbats in here. Getting surrounded and killed, though. Man, look at these Lings go. Taking out a tank before they die. Ultralisk gets murdered, too. Another small group of Banelings trying to join the party with some Ultralisk support, but no. Kelazhur's Marines, Hellbats, and tanks enough to handle that. Thank you very much. Corruptor's on the way from Snute, trying to get rid of that medevac count. He's only killed 2 so far, which is a lot fewer than he usually manages to get in games like these. De Gaulle is still alive, and he's got 5 kills now. De Gaulle, you are amazing. All right, we're gonna keep you up for a little bit here. And here goes nothing. Coming in from both directions is Snute. Banelings firing on everything. Pretty good Baneling hits. Thor lagging behind. Oh, De Gaulle died. Oh, we lost De Gaulle in that battle. He survived 13.5 minutes, though, and got 5 kills, which is pretty darn good for a Reaper. 5th base up for Snute. 6th base in production now. 5th base going for Kelazhur. Trying to land at the really only place he can go, but there are a bunch of Ultralisks here, and they're fully upgraded. Well, that's not good. Trying to kite them back. Liberators, Widow Mines, trying to get as much damage onto these Ultras as Terranly possible. The Liberators are getting picked out of the sky by Corruptors here. Small group of Marines and Marauders along the right side, getting their faces cleaved in, and Planetary Fortress needs to save itself here at this 4th base location, rather. And the Ultras do decide it's time to retreat. We've tried that before. It didn't go very well for us, is what they're saying. Creeps still continuing to be spread. Snute has lost 57 creep tumors, but he still has 26. And he's got 2 more in production. I mean, just continually pumping these creep tumors like they're his saving grace, and I think they sort of are. Kelazhur coming down from the north to the south. A lot of those guys are injured. They're kind of outrunning their coverage here. +3 infantry armor, about 10 seconds away from completing. And Snute's got more Corruptors in production, more Lings, and more Ultras too. He just does not believe in fungal growth. It worked for him in the last game. Not going to complain too much here, but once again, this is just so many Ultralisks. Your Marauder count isn't that high, is it? It's 18? Maybe now the kiting. Oh, the kiting. Overstimmed a little bit, so every swipe that the Ultras get and every hit the Lings do, they have a good chance of taking somebody down if he stims this much. Can he? He's moving on in to this 5th base location. Caustic Spray going down on the Planetary Fortress. Can they save it? Yes, the repair saves it. Liberator count super high all of a sudden. 7 of them chasing those Ultralisks away. 12 Ultras have been killed so far. And that resources loss is going to look a lot different now. Yeah, 18,000 for Snute and 12,000 for Kelazhur. Counterattack sneaking on down. I mean, not really sneak. Can't really sneak. It's a giant Terran army. Can ya? No. No, you cannot. Corruptors here trying to do this thing by themselves, but a lot of Marines on the ground. No real Ultra support to speak of down here at this bottom right-hand corner of Snute, and Kelazhur setting up shop here. Liberators have joined the party. Snute does not like engaging here at all. The Circles of Doom are very, very scary. And is the hatch gonna fall? He does get the hatch! Nicely done, Kelazhur. Corruptors trying to fly in and pick off those Liberators. Chased away by ground forces, though. +3/+3 Marines and Marauders. Marines. Oh, and Marauders getting rid of this other... Oh, this 4th-ish base has died a lot of times for Snute. So he's effectively down to 2 mining bases now. He still has the one inside. It's a very safe one. And this 4th base that he's taken, but his income cannot look good at all compared to Kelazhur's. Yeah, about 1,600 to 2,600. Big time lead there by Kelazhur, getting a Ghost Academy 2, possibly for steady targeting against these Ultralisks. I don't know. Seems like a possibility. All right, Marines, Marauders, Liberators coming on down, getting rid of more creep tumors. This really favored attacking down this right side so far. Has Kelazhur got the Widow Mines. Corruptor Ball maybe a little bit too big. I don't know. Kelazhur's maxed out and Snute's at 173 supply. His income is just not allowing him to remax as much as he would want to. His bank is minuscule. 300, 300 there. Marauder chasing down this queen. And then his friends, can they finish her off? And they do. They do end up getting here. And Snute going to lose another base here. This is a lot of dead hatcheries, you guys. That's 5 dead hatcheries. Kelazhur, recognizing his life is on the line here in WCS Montreal. He wants to win this thing. He wants to represent the Western Hemisphere. And the surround from all sides here by Snute. Corruptor's bailing on in and going to clear out everything in the sky. The Ultralisks getting rid of most of the stuff on the ground. Ultralisks are on fire, but there are still a bunch of them ready and raring to go. And wow, what a surround. 360 surround there by Snute. 136 to 134 supply. The Corruptor, the Liberator, is trying to run away. Corruptors are chasing him. 472 move speed compared to 472 move speed. So the same move speed, so it has to be about angles if you're going to catch them here on their way home. And there's a good one. Good angle. Oh, the Liberator stopped and turned to fight. Snute trying to move on in. Get something done. Morphing in 3 Banelings. Widowmine does end up firing. And here we go. Corruptors at the front. Ultras don't want to attack up that ramp. That ramp is not where you want to be at all. Snute had a replacement base up along this left side. Is completely abandoned the bottom right-hand corner, which has not been good to him. And Kelazhur, I think, is going to end up losing this 5th base of his. Caustic Spray being used on both of these command centers that are here, but no, not able to get it in time. Able to retreat is Snute, but Kelazhur chases it away. Planetary Fortress here for his 6th base. Wow, so Kelazhur hasn't lost a base in this game, which is kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. Playing against somebody who is good at this game, as Snute happens to be. 68 to 57 Harvesters. Kelazhur has a nice lead there. 195 to 155 total supply. And it's just going to be a lot of bile with some Widow Mines at the front. This new base of Snute's up along this left-hand side of the map. I don't know if he could save it. Liberators are setting up defender mode circles. Corruptors are trying to clear out everything they can in the sky, but Liberators setting up circle after circle. Trying to get rid of these dudes, can't quite do it. And can the Ultras get destroyed by this kiting? So far, so good. Some Zerglings here to absorb the damage. More Liberators joining the party. This Corruptor ball is kind of big and scary, though. Actually, going for it, though. Corruptors versus Liberators. All the Ultras are gone. Whoa, that was interesting. It's 179 to 114 total supply. Snute is making 20 Zerglings, but that is it. Is that what he's down to? He's got 1 Ultralisk, 10 Corruptors, and a handful of Zerglings. This is not looking good for our Zerg player. Kelazhur looking so strong, pushing through here. A lot of these guys are very injured, but they still do full damage. The Corruptor ball gone, and that's a good game from Snute. Snute is out, and Kelazhur is your winner today. What a game. What a game number 3 between these two players. We are going to have a game number 4 at the very least. So join me as we go see how the ZVT will continue after this. Welcome back to Game 4 of this Best of 5 series between Snute and Kelazhur, which will be on Mech Depot, the Ladder Edition. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Terran player. It is Kelazhur. And in the top right-hand corner of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Snute. All right, so here we go, Snute. Here we go. Snute with 2, and Kelazhur with 1 win in this Best of 5 series, which just means that if Snute wins this thing, he moves on to the semifinal, and Kelazhur is going home. Does he want to go home, you guys? I'm pretty sure he doesn't. I am really fairly sure he does not want to go home. So Mech Depot's here. Cast a lot of this recently. A lot of this, too, with the Gauntlet Global Open 16 last week, which I cast with Shurd Shaddai. Apparently, it is a map that players are okay with. Nobody really seems to have this vetoed too much, at least, like some other maps that will go nameless. Let's take a look at our Reaper name list, because our friend Kelazhur has been making Reapers pretty consistently this whole series. We've got one ready to go. Should be a good one as I look it over. Might not use it, though. Might not use it. So a pull first from Snute, as he's been doing. Snute is also going for a hatchery right after that, and there's your extractor timing at around 16 or 17 supply. I'd call that a 16 supply, though, once that gas out, because this early Reaper harass is going to come very, very soon. He knows. All Zergs know. Hi. Let's see. High Harbinger Zarek? Zarek was once the High Harbinger of the Seren Nice before he was captured by an elite team of Dominion ghosts and one of the early prototypes for Spectres. After he was captured, the Ghost tortured Zarek for 6 months, 1 week, 2 days, and 6 hours. Though his faith will be held for far more time than the Ghost possibly thought humanly possible, he still broke at the hands of their advanced torture techniques and gave them all the information he knew about the Knights. The only thing he didn't know was what happened after he was captured. But that was not enough for the Ghosts. They were to be punished for taking so long to break Zarek, and they planned to make him pay for their loss of the Emperor's favor. For another week, he was tortured in new and horrible ways that would even make Abathur think they were overzealous. When they finally finished, Zarek was no longer a man. He only knew 2 things, how to kill a man and how to follow orders. Now Zarek serves the Dominion using his deadly skills to annihilate his foes and maybe one day earn the sweet release of death. Woo, Zarek. Rough backstory, man. I'm feeling bad for you. Alright, so good luck with this. These early queens by Snute make your job exceptionally hard. Just checking for a 3rd base, maybe? He says, this 3rd base timing. I'm ready for it. Just kind of hanging out here. Got the fire coming out of the back, and no drone. No quick 3rd base from Snute. All right, that's fine. Oh, this drone, though. This drone. Drone kill. Get him. Go, Zarek. Win. Yeah, Zarek gets a drone kill and delays the 3rd base of Snute. Excellent job. Excellent. Just wonderful job. Queen, slow walking her way down here, gets KD8 charged back, because, again, delaying this 3rd base construction. The longer it takes for the Queen to get here, the longer it takes for this base to even come up at all. Another KD8 charge, possibly. He got one almost quite. There it is. And there it is. And the Queen, whee, gets knocked back a bunch. Another Queen joining the party, and here comes the drone. It's going to be a game of ring around the rosy. Can we keep the drone from getting this down while there are 2 queens here? The answer is no. No, you can't. Not without committing suicide, essentially. Zarek, boosh, another queen. Knocked back. Queens on slow ground, which is anything that's not creep or not fantastic. And the Hellions have joined the party here too. So maybe a little roast up on these queens, but no. Instead, sneaking on up. Trying to see if another creep tumor is going to go down. I don't know. Expansion is done for Kelazhur. Getting cloak? Is that Banshee cloak? That's Banshee cloak, yo. Of course it is. It's on the Starport Tech Lab. Trying to get in here with his Hellions and his Reaper is just not working. Just not working at all. Cloak Banshee, very quick Cloak Banshee rush could actually do a lot against Snute here. Let's see. Let's see how it's going to work out. Today. Single Zergling does almost gets in for the scout. Might pick off an SCV. No, Marine saves its life. Almost gets in there, but does. I think he sees the Tech Lab, doesn't he? He sees the Tech Lab, and it's researching, too. On that Starport. Immediate. There we go. Spore Crawlers are already on the way. He started doing that before he even recognized what he saw. So, too smart. Way, way too smart here. These Spore Crawlers are up. The Ling Scout is a hero. The Supply Depot wall was not done yet. And I don't know. I don't know if I'm Kelazhur. I want to keep on this path. Although we do see this more often than not, where the pro players get their stuff scouted, and their attitude seems to be, so what? Like, I got this. I don't care if my enemy knows exactly what I'm doing. My execution will get this thing done. So still making a Banshee. It's a little bit late. I mean, this Spore Crawler is ready to go. And we'll see what she can do. Cloak sneaking on in. That's the sound that she makes. But she's very quiet when she's cloaked. Actually, does that cloak sound too? I just realized. I mean, it obviously does in the game, but in the lore, what do you think? Trying to find an angle in which to attack here, but there are 4 queens. 3 queens at the natural base and 4 queens at the main base and Spore Crawlers at each. It's a rough go. It's a rough go for this Banshee. Not looking good at all. Viking trying to get rid of a Slover Lord. I mean, a small victory for Kelazhur here. Zarek, the Reaper, does take some queen shots to the face, but is still alive after being ordered to retreat from that battle. So he doesn't die. Viking trying to find, are there any Overlords to kill at all? I guess there's one. And Banshee, maybe with a scan, he could pick up some creep tumors. That'd be pretty nice. All these Overlords are going home. Help! There are Vikings hunting us. And by Vikings, I mean Viking. Maybe get this queen that's trying to transfer down to the natural base. And you know what? Gets it. Oh, the transfuse! No, the last second transfuse. Brutal. Another Overlord dead here. Vikings got 3 of them. All right. Some minor victories. Third base coming up for Kelazhur too. So far, so good. And a 4th base being built by Snute, continuing down south. And a 5th base too. He's double expanding. Something about this tells him he's fine. I don't know what it is. I mean, I guess the fact that Banshee, that's Kelazhur invested a ton of stuff into Cloak Banshee and did virtually no damage with it. I mean, I guess did force out a transfuser or 2, but that doesn't really matter. Viking is having a great time, though. 5 kills already. 5 of them are Overlords. And that's a 6th. And Snute, once again, not supply blocked. He's able to make enough Overlords to compensate for the fact that his Overlords are dying at a somewhat alarming rate. How does Zergling get in here? Seriously, how to get an SEV kill at this 3rd base? That's insane. I guess the Great Wall Supply Depots is not done yet, and that will do it. These counterattacks are more possible. All right, so Snute's double expansion technique is at the test right now. He is under direct fire by these Marines with +1/+1. Are there enough Lings and Queens to save this thing? The answer is, especially with transfuses, maybe yes. Lings trying to join on in here, stutter stepping back, picking up, boosting out. Saves the base, but it's pretty injured. And bleeding. Zerglings are picking off Marines that are in the middle of the map. Just reinforcements. And a Hellion gets surrounded too. Marines have got to scan. There we go. Scan, killing creep tumors. Queens joining the party. Lings everywhere that Kelazhur tries to go. Snute is ready for him. And this has just got to be demoralizing for Kelazhur. Got Zarek in the front. Is Zarek dead? Zarek, no. Zarek died right there. No, he didn't. He's still alive somewhere. Okay, now he's dead, right? No? What? Zarek, are you? Oh, Zarek is still here. Zarek has 4 kills, and he got picked up inside this medevac and saved. Oh, amazing stuff by Zarek. And they got this 5th base that Snute tried to double expand to. A little bit greedily. Might have gotten punished a bit there, but I think he'll be fine. He'll be fine. 4th command center under construction by Kelazhur. Going to try to land it down here to the right of his 3rd base. Marines do have the +1/+1 attack. Soon to have +2/+2. The upgrades are continuing for our Terran player. That's a hive. That is a 9-minute hive from Snute. +2/+2 on the way. His upgrades in this whole series have just been disgusting. Upgrades, you guys. Get them. Get them. Marines, Marauders killing more of these creep tumors. 23 creep tumors have been killed in this game. Another batch of them going down. Snute likes his creep spread and doesn't like it when this happens, but he is usually not too overly concerned when this happens. Widowmine did fire. It's 13 kills on that Widowmine. What? When did that happen? I don't know. Maybe it was during that one battle. I was trying to see if Zarek was okay. Well, the Widowmine's dead now anyway, so irrelevant. And an Ultraless Cavern. Snute has decided Ultras are the way to beat Kelazhur, and if it ain't broke, then do not fix it. Marines with that +2/+2 just now kicking in. Is it enough? Stopping a second to kill all these creep tumors here at this 4th base location. A lot of Lings and a lot of Banes defending. Cloak Banshees in the mix. Got some Mutas too. Widowmine's firing on those Zerglings here at the front. And again, trying to knock down this 4th base is Snute. Can he get it? Ultras aren't even close to showing up yet, and that +2/+2 is done with Concussive Shell just about there too. Banelings getting target fired. Not the best target fire ever, but still not bad. Not bad. Pretty fair trade there. And all the Banelings are gone. So Lings possibly. Snute just kind of dancing back and forth. He wants to kill this hatch, but can he do it? A lot of Queens coming in for the concave. And here comes Kelazhur trying to drop inside the main base and get some damage done there too. Big surround of Zerglings though. Widowmine gonna fire on something. No, doesn't actually fire on anything. I think it got picked up. Lings, Banes, Queens, once again trying to fire on in here. Get those connections that every Zerg player dreams of. But getting target fired pretty well here. Kelazhur's micro, impressive thus far. But Ultras are in production, kind of splitting on the way in. +3/+3 for those guys too. So and we're just kind of on a timer right now. One Ultra does pop out by himself. Not that great, but cleaving away. With all these Queens transfusing him, he could be a boss, or he could just get focused down and murdered too by this army. Good Widowmine hit on those Banelings. Man, number of Banelings killed. 36 Banelings have died, which means they didn't fire on what they wanted to explode on. That's them just being killed out in the middle of Nowheresville, like we just saw there. with the target firing. 2 Ultralisks at the front, getting transfused all the livelong day by these queens and just refusing to fall. Injured but not dead. 7 kills on that one. He's a Slayer. Kelazhur trying to make this thing happen. Can he get rid of this base? More and more Ultras popping out all the time, though, with the Mutas in the sky, too, and the Lings chasing away. Snute, it looks like it might be time for him to run away from this location. +3 is on the way for this guy. Banelings are exploding. I can't quite tell on what here. It is just chaos as Liberators join the party and then immediately get killed by the Mutalisks, who are here too. Reinforcements from Kelazhur joining this at all times. Good Widowmine shot there. And now it's time for Snute to turn tail and run. So it is technically 4 base to 4 base. Kelazhur's 4th base is up. It's 66 to 76 Harvesters. Kelazhur is down about 10 workers right now. The upgrades just never end for these guys. They just never, ever end. 5th base being taken by Snute for the 2nd time in this game, or possibly the 3rd. Trying to decide if it is the 3rd. I don't know. And taking a 6th base too. Is he seriously doing the double expand again? He's doing the double expand again against Kelazhur. I don't know about this, man. Yeah, he's going to lose this one in the bottom right. There's just no saving it. There's no saving it. There is the cancel. Snute's 4th base and 5th base are kind of coming. Kelazhur sneaking up here. Once again, he really wants to kill that hatchery, and he gets it. He gets the 4th base. But Ultra's coming from the left side. Ultra's coming from the top. Pretty good choke. Liberator left behind to get some shots off before Mutalisks and Corruptors murder her, and they certainly do. Mutalisks are chasing these medevacs, dropping some Marauders on the ground. Strangely enough, more Liberators in the sky to try to deal with these Ultras, and doing okay, but just not enough. Not enough, especially with the Corruptors and the Mutas in the sky. 192 to 155 total supply. Snute has a stranglehold on this game, though. Did lose his 4th base, which is kind of a big deal. If he could just win here, though, I like his chances. No, we're getting blown apart there by the Marines and the Marauders instead. Kelazhur really wants to go to a Game 5, ladies and gentlemen. Game 4 is not where he wants to stop. I'm going to try to make this thing happen. Adrenal Glands on the way from Snute. Scanning to see, does Snute have another base up here at the top of the map? No, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. Still sitting on 5. Replaced the 4th, just about to pop here. Long distance mining drones will not have to long distance mine for much longer. Anyway, and Marauders joining the party here. +3 Marauders here at Snute's 4th. Can they kill it again? Holy shamoly. I think he's going to lose this thing again. No. You got it. You got this thing. Oh, if this lives, I'm going to be so mad. No, Kelazhur, just sacrifice the lives of your men and get this hatchery. I almost feel like you need to get it, even if you lose all of these dudes, which you might just lose anyway by kiting forever and ever, amen. Oh, man, this hatchery has 300 hit points. I'm sure these queens can transfuse it back up to a certain level, but maybe we're going to try to get this 5th base now of Snutes is our handy-dandy buddies, and once again, no, not going to happen. Ultralisk does get killed. Reinforcements do show up for Kelazhur, marching from clear across the map here. The supply lines are pretty fantastic, and you know what? They're going to get this 5th. They're going to get the 5th base. Ah, it's another hatch gone. That's 3 hatches killed and 1 canceled so far by Kelazhur. Not too shabby, if I do say so myself, or you can say so yourself. But again, the Ultras on the ground, the Corruptors, and the Queens supporting them. It's a pretty good composition Snute is rolling with here. And Kelazhur forced to retreat, but he is on 5 base. He is technically sitting here on 5 bases. 71 to 66 Harvester. Snute has the lead, but losing that base was ginormous. Has to replan his 5th. And making 10 Marines at a time, 3 Marauders, 2 Liberators. Snute trying to make this Ultralisk thing work. As I mix up my adjective and my noun, I still feel like a little drop here at this 4th would take it down. It'd be a huge, huge thing. Hasn't been transfused all that much. Command center on the way from Kelazhur. He really wants to defend this 4th base of his. His 5th base is actually super undefended. I don't know why he's not worried about this. Snute doesn't know about it. I guess maybe that's part of it. Snute kind of setting up like he wants to attack directly into this thing, but he hasn't quite gone there yet, nor has he scouted the location. 6 base for Snute coming up at that in the location that Kelazhur scanned just a couple of minutes ago, and it's a Greater Spire. We could see Broodlords again for the second time in this series after game number 1. 1 and 4 could have them broods. Additional Starport production here and Tech Lab production. Does he know about that Greater Spire? Where is the Greater Spire, I guess is the question. No. No, he doesn't know about it at all. Alright, so Zergling's coming in from the top. Trying to make sure there are no bases that he doesn't know about, but still doesn't know about this one. Down there in the south. Oh, these medevacs are in a lot of trouble. The Corruptors don't care about you Marines on the ground. Medevacs out. These guys are stuck. And they're getting surrounded by units here. Trying to attack with Ultras in here to the 3rd base. Nope. Not enough. Not enough here to deal with these Marines and these Marauders. 100% no. And Marines Marauders dropping at Snute's attempt to reestablish his base in the bottom right-hand corner here, once again getting another cancel off. So he's killed 3 hatcheries and forced the cancel on 2 or 3 more. So far the aggressiveness has been pretty good. That's a lot of queens, yo. That is, he's got 17 queens. Does Snute? I haven't seen this many queens in his EBT in a while. I guess other than from Snute, but you know what? If it's working, then it is working. Expanding again is Kelazhur. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6th base for him. Thank you very much. Marines and Marauders getting rid of an Ultralisk whose pathing is poor in this bottom right-hand corner of the map. Ghost Academy coming in here. And we do have a Fusion Core from Kelazhur. Probably not going to be Battle Cruiser just because, again, the Corruptor count is 11. But we can always dream, can't we? All right, here comes Kelazhur marching on through here. Snute kind of setting up the concave. I don't know. I don't know if this is really the way you want to do this thing. If you happen to be Kelazhur attacking right on in. Trying to attack on the edge of the creep. Make sure that Snute is not comfortable with it. All right, so at least Kelazhur knows all the bases that Snute has right now. Trying to pick off these Ultras, but they keep getting transfused. Are you seeing this transfuse action? Wow, trying to kite back and back and back. He's got the Liberators, but the sneak attack from behind. Bailing's firing on everything. Oh, Corruptor's clearing out the medevacs here too, and that 360 surround was disgusting by Snute. Clears out those Liberators too. Suddenly 191 to 128 total supply. The counterattack by Snute is going to be real, and it's going to be painful. Ultralisks right on top of this planetary fortress. Are there enough repairs on it? There may very well be, especially with the support of the Marines and the Marauders here. But you know what? No, the caustic spray enough. Oh, and the base ends up going down. Reinforcements from Kelazhur trying to join the party, getting picked off by Zerglings. The map awareness of Snute is just incredible right now. Another counterattack coming on in. 186 to 136 total supply. Got advanced ballistics just about done here. Going to help with these Liberators just a little bit, and immediately replanting that 5th base that he lost earlier. 6th base is happily humming along. And Kelazhur trying to bring himself back into this game. Can he do it? Is the question of the day. Here comes Snute once again. Widow Mines do fire on those Zerglings. Wow, big time hits on those Widow Mines. Corruptors trying to get rid of these medevacs too. There are only 4 of them, and if you lose these, it's going to be a bad place for Kelazhur marching up the ramp. That is what you want to do. We do have Ultralisks on the ground trying to kill everything that they see down there. Widow Mines getting hammered. Marines and Marauders trying to join the party are getting killed here too. Widow Mines firing. The Ultras do not care. It just kind of tickles. Replacement 5th base is going to die. 197 to 129 total supply. Kelazhur, has he been losing his medevacs? He has been losing his medevacs. He's lost 20 of them so far in the game. Got some lings down here at Kelazhur's attempt at a 6th base. Up here in the top corner, all the SCVs, no, the SCV massacre. And a missile turret's down there too. 66 to 32 Harvesters. His army is pretty well overstimmed right now. Base in the bottom right is actually going to finish for Snute for the first time in this game, and the Zerglings go running away, laughing as they do. 200 to 142 total supply. Once again, no infestors, no problem for Snute. Liberator's trying to kill stuff. Nope. Queens and Corruptors. Too much for that. Trying to set up shop here. This orbital command, or this command center rather, is coming down to land here. Defending it is a fairly large, scary group of Marines and Marauders. Snute does not find them scary, though. He's coming right on in. Picking off that Widow Mine. Ultralisks and Corruptors on top of this. The Medevacs are getting picked off by the Corruptors as they have to stop and heal with this kiting strategy. You cannot heal out of this. If you're Kelazhur now, forced to lift off, and the Queens and Corruptors finish off the command center. It was full of SCVs, too. So many dead SCVs. 39 dead SCVs in this game. 64 to 25. As expansions all over the place, does Snute, our Zerg player, burrows being researched here, too. This base of Kelazhur is keeping him alive. I don't think Snute knows this exists, or he would have killed it a long time ago. Lings getting chased away. The medevac count is just not high enough to deal with the number of Marines and Marauders that need it. Look at these guys. Look how sickly they are. A lot of oranges, a lot of yellows. There's a green in there. A couple greens maybe. But that's about it. That's not Zarek, is it? No, he doesn't have any kills. It's another Reaper joining the party. I don't know what that's all about. Ah, look who found Secret Kitten Base. Oh, no. Alrighty then. So that's dead. 21 dead SCVs there. Kelazhur is down to 4, but he knows he has to keep fighting. If he just gives up, that's it. That is it, and he's going home. He doesn't want to go home. He wants to go to the semi-final. Is what he wants to do. Once again, the kiting by Kelazhur is on point. APM currently sitting at 400 compared to 600 for Snute. I don't know how their APMs get so high. Don't ask me. I don't have an answer for you. 184 to 185 total supply. Losing SCV standing on the ramp, killing a lot of Ultralisks, and that's it. A good game. Well played. Good luck out of Kelazhur. And Snute is your victor in 4 games. Moving on to the semifinals, where he will face Kelazhur in a ZVZ semifinal series. What a long series there. Snute making it work. Kelazhur fighting super hard. One of the better series I've cast, I think, for that. Just every game over 20 minutes? Are you serious? Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed it. I know that I have. Yeah, 20 Ultras killed in that game. That's a lot of that Ultra. 22 Medevacs. Only 1 Banshee died. Did he have any of the 1 Banshee? Fair enough. Resources lost 37,000 for Snute and 42,000 for Kelazhur. That kind of tells the story. And that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and a Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.